Atlanta, the Pirates bats were busted out. Double-digit hits in their last 3, and tonight they're back home as they'll try to keep it up as they meet the Mets. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Steve Blass with you here tonight. And over the last 2 weeks, these Pirates, they're 8-4. It's one of the best records in baseball in that span. And a big reason why they've been winning, Steve, is their offense.
Yeah, they've been scoring a lot of runs. Just the last 3 games, 26 runs. That's over 8 a game. So you should win most of those games. And you know, everybody's been invited to the party, so that's great. But the man, with all that said, has been Adam Frazier. He started hitting in February. He has not looked back. His confidence has to be soaring. He does a good job batting against left-hand pitchers, major league stature, and he's just been absolutely on fire. So it's been fun to watch him, and he has got to be eager to get up there each and every time he gets to the plate.
And since he's joined the lineup, coming off the DL, leading the National League in both batting average and on-base percentage. Gregory Polanco back in the lineup, as is Andrew McCutchen tonight, but he'll be in the 6th spot. He's never batted lower than cleanup in his career.
Yeah, good to have Gregory back, but we really need Andrew back. And to me, it doesn't matter whether he hits 3rd or 6th, because there are going to be opportunities during the course of the ball game where he can really contribute, and you'd love to see him taken off, because that could make a huge difference. Even though the Pirates are scoring a lot right now, get his bat back in there and it'll be a little bit better.
He feels like he's comfortable with that role here tonight. We'll hear more from him coming up on a Friday Night Rocks. The Pirates hope their bats keep a rocking here against the Mets. It's up next here on Root Sports.
Done. Summertime is ours to run. I believe I'm going, gone. Won't come back until it's won. Come on Friday night, it's time to turn your engines on. You finally heard the call.
Clear the deck, cannonball coming.
No doubt about this one.
Try to sweat your dreams away, go shining like a light. It's a Friday night in Summerland. It's a Friday night in Summerland.
Friday Night Rocks on Root Sports is presented by IC Light. Music from Good Brother Earl here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Michael Conforto against Chad Kuhl to start this one tonight.
Chad Kuhl making start number 10, and take a look at the numbers so far, coming off a real good start last Sunday against the Philadelphia Phillies, where he won 5 scoreless, giving up just 1 hit. You hope that he can build on that.
Yeah, he was really good that last time around.
And we hope that we get to the 2nd or 3rd inning before we have any incidents with that Sun field out in left and center. McCutcheon, Andrew certainly used to it, but Adam Frazier going to have to find the baseball. That Sun will be gone in a couple of innings, but right now Adam's on the edge.
And he strikes out Conforto to start things tonight.
Well, that'll take care of the Sun field for now.
Yeah, no balls in play for that Mets lineup. Terry Collins puts this together tonight. Conforto, Reyes, and then Jay Bruce, the ex-Red. Neil Walker cleans up. He's hitting .329 in May. Lucas Duda, Asdrubal Cabrera, then Curtis Granderson only at .173. Rene Rivera and Jacob deGrom. The battery for the Mets tonight. Jose Reyes back with the Mets as of last year. Now 33 years old in his 15th season. And you mentioned Kuhl's numbers, Steve, in that last start. You know, the Mets tonight in that lineup, they've got 1 right-handed batter, and so we'll see if he continues to do well against lefties, which is something that he had not done prior to that last start. But last time around, they didn't get a hit off.
Well, they don't know him. He has never faced the New York Mets, so he got that going for us. Good speed. He still is able to touch 97, although we said last start Ray Sears loves him at 93, 94 because of movement and not having to work and struggle so much. But when you come upstairs 97 miles an hour up and in, like you see in the W.B. Mason strike zone, that 97 looks pretty darn good. Maybe you want more movement, yeah, but every once in a while you'd like to have that in your back pocket. 2 strike situations, you get them looking down low, come upstairs, maybe they'll chase, maybe they won't catch up.
A let-up pitch at 90.
Yeah, that's what it's like these days. Change-ups at 90. That was my best fastball. Maybe not, but you know, you get what I'm getting at.
You get the picture. Yeah, these guys throwing in the upper 90s on the guns these days. And for Kuhl, yeah, you mentioned 2 starts ago he had hit 100 miles an hour on one of his pitches, and everyone's eyes pop out, of course. But where was it? And now in that last start, like you said, Steve, now a lot more under control. Ray Searage are working with him to just, you know, the old phrase, stay within himself. And it worked a lot better. 1 hit in those 5 shutout innings against the Phillies. Very much the style of Ivan Nova.
Brilliant yesterday.
Yes.
Just brilliant. He continues to just dazzle us.
David Freese with the basket catch.
Yeah, little Willie Mays versus Vic Wertz back in 1954, if you will. Back to home plate. David didn't quit on it. I don't know if Adam Frazier was going to be able to get there in time. And the answer is that he would not have been able to get there in time. So good work for David staying with that.
Good first look on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. So 2 outs for Chad Kuhl. Keeping him free for Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce acquired by the Mets last season, a free agent to be. 11 home runs. Weird not seeing him in red, huh? After all those years with Cincinnati.
A lot of damage against the Pirates. I think he's got like 21 career home runs against the Bucks, which is near the top of his particular chart of opponents.
Up towards center and toward the notch. And that'll be extra bases for Jay Bruce.
He hit it in the right part of the ballpark to contain it, and the Pirates and Mets are still scoreless.
And now that'll bring up Neil Walker. First trip in for the Mets this season. Walker in his second year now with New York. Told you a moment ago, starting to come on in May. 329 this month. And our Rivers Casino tips to win for tonight. Steve, what you got?
Yeah, and it applies to this first inning. You want Chad to stay cool in the first inning. The Mets have scored 43 first inning runs, second best in the major leagues. And big night for Florida native Andrew McCutchen. Yeah.
Well, he's going to be part of the Fan Jam post-game concert here tonight. I like that reference, Steve.
Well, I'm a big fan of Florida. And Tennessee and Georgia, Nebraska. I'm a big fan of all of them.
All the states and their music. Tennessee, Ernie Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Flo Rida here tonight. And Cool has fallen behind Bruce. Now Walker as well. Cool got ahead 0-2 on the first two, retired them both.
Neil Walker back in town, did a lot of really good things for the Pittsburgh Pirates and his community.
7 years in the black and gold. Very active today, talking with folks, as you'd imagine.
Oh yeah. Very popular figure in this ballpark. Pirates might be catching the Mets at the right time. They are severely beat up. We're going to talk about that as we go along, but a lot of injuries for the Metropolitans.
They're pitching right now, worst in baseball. Their offense has been pretty good, though, despite all those injury woes.
And we get a call on the corner. You're going to get some of these calls as you take a look at the strike zone once again, brought to you by W.B. Mason.
What do you always do on 3-2, right?
Yep, you always want to get through the first inning, regardless of what your opponents have done. But the Mets have been very successful in the first, putting numbers up on the board.
And Chad Cool in his first full major league season, still a nice confidence booster to get off to that good start. The early innings have been troublesome for him as well, many nights. And before the game, as we mentioned, Neil Walker very busy talking with ex-teammates, his ex-skipper as well.
Double play combination. You got to talk to your shortstop when you get back into town. They did a lot of good work together.
Now it's all business. Out into that sun field.
Took a step back, but recovers.
They get the final out. They put up a 0. And now the Buccos coming to bat here in the first. things off for the Buccos here in the bottom of the first. And the RAV4 lineup for Clint Hurdle tonight. Frazier, who is leading baseball in batting average and on-base percentage since coming back. And then Josh Harrison, also hot. Josh Bell bats third. Polanco cleans up. Freeze, and then McCutcheon in that sixth spot for the first time in his career. Cervelli Mercer, who had that great series in Atlanta, and then Chad Kuhl bats ninth.
A lot of people in that list really had contributing roles. And Jacob deGrom, 28-year-old right-hander out of DeLand, Florida. His numbers so far this year. He has never beaten the Pirates. He's pitched well in 4 starts, but he's 0-2.
Frazier hitting .361. I don't know what's been more surprising. The fact that Frazier's seemingly every night's got 2-3 hits, sometimes more. But the power the last couple of games too. 2 3-run home runs, one in each of his last couple of games.
It's really gotten to the point where it's not all that surprising. It's been on that kind of roll.
Has done this a couple of times yesterday and today, just to roll out to second. He is human. And the Honda defense for New York tonight. And Reyes is over at third. Cabrera and Walker in the middle with Lucas Duda at first. Conforto, Granderson, and Bruce in the outfield. Rene Rivera, very good defensive catcher, behind the dish tonight for the Mets.
One of the names you see missing out of that defensive alignment, Cespedes. It's good to have him not in there, to be quite honest.
Big bat.
And make no mistake about it, Jacob deGrom is a power pitcher. He is a strikeout man.
Getting swings and misses, which makes the umpire's job even easier. Doug Eddings will work the plate tonight. Corey Blazer at first. The crew chief is Jeff Nelson there at second. Laz Diaz umpires third here in this 3-game series. Yeah, the strikeouts for deGrom. What was I reading? Top percentage? Strikeouts per 9 in
56 innings, 76 strikeouts. That's near the top of any one of those categories, except haircuts.
Hadn't had one since college.
Samson, that should be his nickname,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. He and Noah Syndergaard also with that long blonde locks. Finding a way to get a hit.
We've seen him do so much of that lately. Just throw the end of the bat out and just plop a ball into center field. And that is a pitch that should not be hit. It just simply should not have been hit. And he knows it. Look at this. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That is ridiculous. That's almost as ridiculous as Ivan Nova's control. Those are two things, categories that shouldn't happen.
Dragging his bat on the ground when he makes contact.
Yep, saw that at least 2 times last homestand.
How does he do it? Hitting over 300.
And a nice little lead at first base, too.
Yeah, Harrison has stolen 4 bases. Josh Bell in that 3 spot. 242, but a team leading 9 home runs.
I could tell you how that makes a pitcher feel when a batter gets a base hit like that, but I'd have to use language that is not appropriate.
Well, I don't speak French, so I wouldn't know what you'd be saying anyway.
95 miles an hour. Possibly just off the outside corner.
Well, those 1 and 2 hitters with Frazier and Harrison, the way that they've been hitting, Clint Hurdle saying no wonder the Pirates are scoring more runs here as of late.
That's a good sized lead right there. But, you didn't see the body language on top of that lead that showed any anxiety or anxious shuffling around for Josh to take off, at least right then.
Harrison now 9 for his last 16, last 4 games.
Rivera, fair numbers, 27%, small sampling of information about him throwing out runners. 27% is okay. It's not really good.
Over his career, though, very good. He'll be a tough guy to run on in this series. He's the best defensive guy that they've got.
Of course, as always, he'll have to have help from his pitcher if he wants to get something done at second base.
Harrison not going. What do you think of DeGrom's speed to home plate?
I don't know much about it.
Well, I mean, it's what we've seen so far. I mean, with Harrison on 5
I haven't
pitches.
seen anything dazzling.
Think you can run on him?
Yeah, you can run on anybody if you kind of outguess him and he's made his mind up to go to home plate. You take off, you get a little bit of an edge with an early start. You can run on anybody.
And he's going. And the exchange is quick, but Harrison is quicker. Stolen base number 5 for Jay.
Yeah, he had those early leads, and then he started creeping a little bit. Looked like more of an opportunity to go. That was a nice early break, I thought. Got a good break away from first base. It's all part of it, speed and break. Hard to do it on just one of those categories.
Now in scoring position with 1 out. Did he go? No. Ball 4.
Good to see Josh down at first base. It's been a little bit of a flat spot for Josh Bell recently. But all in all, watching those games, last few games out of Atlanta, and just seeing everybody contribute, everybody involved. And of course, all the attention on Frazier, as it should be, kind of leading the parade, but a lot of people involved with all that offense. And it's great to see everybody contributing.
Gregory Polanco back in the lineup. Activated yesterday. Wasn't part of the parade in Atlanta. So you think about that, Steve, and you get Polanco back. And you know, Clint Hurdle said something about Andrew McCutchen too. You know, McCutchen, the 2 games that he didn't start, the Pirates score what, 21 runs. So it just kind of shows him, all right, you can just add into what's going on. You don't have to be, you know, the only guy. Where he was kind of feeling like that. Polanco very much, I'm sure, the same feeling with that, because it seemed like he was pressing at the outset here to be the big, you know, cleanup man for the Pirates.
Well, whatever the reason, they weren't scoring, and it just feels good to see those runs up on the board recently. I think everybody relaxes a little bit, takes the pressure off. Now, keep in mind, DeGrom, very good in 9 previous starts, 7 home runs. So he's been a little vulnerable in that area. And he's had a couple of games, a couple of his starts this year, where he's walked 5 and 1 where he's walked 6. So stay tuned.
He's got 2 on. Count even on Polanco. He feels completely healthy now, and remember, he had that shoulder concern too, and that's not why he went on the deal. It was the hamstring. But you know, to have 10 more days to have that shoulder heal.
How does that hair know where to stop when it's that long? I mean, doesn't it keep growing, or they get it down to a foot and then stop, cut it off, or I don't know.
It stays a fair ball, and Polanco is out. I think he thought that was going to roll foul.
Duda will never have an easier play at first base, ever. Looked like it wanted to try to get off the grass, but stayed on the grass until it got almost to first base.
So Duda recording the 2nd out. Moves up the runners. Harrison at 3rd, Bell at 2nd for David Freese.
Boy, right to the glove there. You've got to get that strike call.
Freese at 264. Getting on base at a 376 clip. Outstanding.
I'm still recovering from that 10th inning down in Atlanta.
7-run inning.
Crazy.
You don't see that very often.
Back to back to back. Was it Three in a row.
Three home runs in a row for the Pirates, all in that 10th inning.
I mean, that's sealing the deal, I think.
Yeah, it was a barrage, really, the last 2 innings for the Pirates of the final night game, and then in the day game yesterday.
Yeah, big deal was coming up in the 9th inning to tie it, to take it to the 10th.
Jose Osuna. Tardy swing there.
That's what DeGrom does.
So a hit, but 2 left, and we're scoreless through 1.
Three-hole for the first time in a long time. I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. In fact, it's the first time he's hit below the cleanup spot in his career. And earlier, he discussed the move to the 6th spot.
3 holes sometimes can be, one of those spots to where, you feel like you got to produce and deliver and come through, especially maybe early in the game or middle of the game. And I've had plenty of opportunities in, the last few series and running scoring position, and might be putting a little added pressure on me, and feel like I got to do a little more. And I think being a little further down the lineup is going to help me be able to not feel like I put more pressure on myself. And whoever's going to be in the 3-hole, they'll be able to pick up the slack.
And Joe and Steve, one thing with this move for Andrew McCutchen, these discussions started on Tuesday night during the rain delay. They had that over 3-hour rain delay, and that's when Clint Hurdle and Andrew McCutchen were able to sit down and discuss this move. And the one thing Andrew added after he got done talking was, hey, I'm fired up. Let's do it, and let's go win some baseball games. So, yeah, may not be maybe new territory for him, but he certainly embraced it and certainly is enthusiastic about it as well.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want that kind of response because when they put up the standings every morning in the newspaper, it talks about the team, not the individual.
And that's what McCutchen said right there. Toward the wall. And they'll get by Polanco. And Duda was going to have 2, it looked like, no matter what.
A couple Mets doubles here. First couple innings. First one did not result in a run. Let's see what we can do about keeping Lucas Duda there. Kind of hooking away from Gregory, and then he gets caught in between the wall and the ball and has to chase it down. Duda does not run well. Somebody else might have thoughts, perhaps, of trying for 3 bases, as you see Gregory get trapped there. It's hard to anticipate. There's still a lot of different types of surfaces out there that can take the ball off the wall different directions. It can settle under the wall, right to the bottom of the wall, bounce straight back.
Yeah, it doesn't have that fencing in front of the bulbs anymore. It's the LED screen out there, kind of a plexiglass finish to it.
But that was interesting because he hooked the ball and then the ball went back toward right center. So it hit something that took it the opposite way it was spinning.
Maybe a hit a base.
Could be.
Cabrera back in the starting lineup since coming off the DL yesterday.
And a late start. Wow. Had to put the burners on toward the end of that. Jody Mercer was way out there, but McCutchen, Frazier coming a long way, and Adams stays with it. At least he didn't have to deal with the sun there.
Now the whole field in shadows after a very bright first inning. Yeah, if you're back in some of the bleachers out there, yeah, still get a little sunshine. Curtis Granderson. You may be noticing a theme. Everybody standing in that batter's box except for Rivera, the on deck hitter.
Struggling times for Curtis Granderson. He is much better than that. 173.
Final year of his deal at age 36. He has not hit the Pirates especially well throughout his career. 118. But has always had that opportunity. If you throw him the right pitch, he can hit it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he's hit a lot of other teams very, very well. Good career. Excellent career.
Yeah, those are the career numbers. That's not just 1 or 2 games. That's 24 games.
So he's done a lot of good work against other teams because career-wise, his career numbers are quite good.
But this is Cool's first time facing any of these guys.
Thank you. Now, Josh Harrison could have got a base hit on that pitch, but not Curtis Granderson. And this is about where the ball was that Josh hit. Right there, number 4. And I wonder why a lot of times the pitchers need therapy.
Now full.
The old in and out approach. Went in with a slider, then back outside with a fastball. A lot of movement, a little too much movement. We have to reset.
With the shift on, it gets through. Duda is in on the single by Granderson.
Just out of the reach of Jordy Mercer. I thought for a minute that Jordy might be able to flag it down, even though he would not have had a play at first base and could have kept Duda at third, but it gets to the outfield and the Pirates are down 1-0. Just almost got to it. Good effort by Jordy. That's on the board.
He was stationed near the bag at second. Had to go a long way to get that one.
So there's that 118 average against the Pirates.
18th run batted in. Now Rene Rivera, the only right-handed batter in this Mets lineup. Veteran backup catcher. Granderson 1 steal this year.
Okay, I'm going to pull one out of the old file of music here. We're going to have him hit a ground ball to second, double play, and then you'll just be able to play Just Walk Away, Rene, by the left bank.
Good reference.
It's an oldie.
Yeah. Our first of many here on Friday.
Well, hey, it's a musical theme.
Yes. Not to mention Flo Rida after our telecast right here at the ballpark. And you see the numbers this year, even at 333, the slugging very high, but last time around, Cool 0 for 11 lefties were against him against the Phillies. So already tonight, the 3 hits, all left-handed bats, of course.
And the ball Jay Bruce hit, very fortunate that the Pirates weren't down 1-0 on that. That was a ball, left-hand batter slicing the ball almost out to the bullpen door. Just kept running away from Andrew. Not catchable, but stayed in the yard. Good when they come with 2 outs.
Time called just as Cool got ready. You know, for Cool to be able to, there he is. Okay, Bruce in the center there. In blue and orange. Busted his bat.
Just walk away, Renee, but we needed more from you there.
Granderson to second with 2 outs, and the pitcher coming up. And you can enjoy Pirates baseball under the lights Sunday when the Bucks battle these Mets at 8 o'clock. All kids 14 and younger receiving a Pirates beach towel thanks to Coca-Cola. It's the Pirates and the Mets Sunday at 8. Head to pirates.com and get your tickets. All night games here this weekend.
Jacob deGrom not to be taken lightly. Swings the bat pretty well.
And a left-handed batter, even though he's a right-handed pitcher.
I think I read somewhere where he was a position player in high school or college.
He was a shortstop at Stetson. Very accomplished collegiate hitter. And a 198 career batter, so that nothing to take for granted. You're right. So Cool throws in 1 at 96.
But as a lot of us happened, we found out that hitting's tough, so we became pitchers.
You think about, you know, different guys, the paths that they take. You know, sometimes they're a collegiate pitcher or a hitter, and then they do the opposite, or they focus on one. And Jordy Mercer, a closer in college, ended up being a shortstop. It's usually the shortstops, right? You know, they got the good arm, so either if you can hit, you're going to be a shortstop. If you can't, you're probably going to pitch.
Was it one of the exceptions? Was Jason Mott a catcher?
He was a catcher.
Yeah, so that's really different.
Yeah, but Jordy Mercer, very good at Oklahoma State. All-time saves leader when he left school.
And pretty good take by deGrom there. That's a ball that major league hitters, professional hitters, take a run at.
He's got a man in scoring position. He's hanging in there.
We've had several instances in the last handful of games, Pirates, with Pirate pitchers working very hard to put opposing pitchers away in their at bats. And, put this one in the category. This is number 6 coming up.
Trying to strand Granderson at second. And that will end the inning. But the Mets get on the board first. 1-0 New York.
It's not more of feeling like I got to be the guy to come through. You know, I know other guys on the team. That's why we have a team that can produce and that can put up some runs. Even when I'm not, we got next guy up. That's what it's always been about on this team, is next guy up. You know, if I can't come through, the guy behind me, and the next guy. So, yeah, you know, it's not necessarily a battle of feeling like I got to be the guy. You know, it's just more of a battle with myself, and you know, not feeling like I have to do it and be the one to come through. That's more of a personal thing as opposed to, you know, feeling like it has to be a team thing. You know, I think sometimes I've fallen into that habit of feeling like I got to do it.
Yeah, very frank and honest talk from Andrew McCutchen, and receptive and welcoming to be in this role, something that he's never been in, and that's batting below the cleanup spot in his major league career. Number 6 spot tonight. And I think, you know, we don't always hear that kind of candor from players, because it is very difficult sometimes when you're the face of a franchise, and you know, to feel like you need to produce to a certain level, and then maybe that steamrolls a little bit. We saw probably some of that last year, and then again we're starting to see it again this year.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, he's been the man. He's been the man with this ball club for several years, and nobody likes the word demotion, but you know, if you're not producing, adjustments have to be made. Simple as that, because it's all about results and production, and he's acknowledging that.
Yeah.
That's, he knows it as much as well as anybody.
And a great attitude about it. And you know, Clint Hurdle echoed what you said earlier, Steve, about how, you know, the Pirates are a better team when Andrew McCutchen is at his best. And he also emphasized that that's all the Pirates want. They want Andrew McCutchen at his best.
Well, they want him to have 2 or 3 hot games, and he's right back in the 3rd spot where he belongs, where he knows he should operate out of, and it's just up to him to do it. He's got to do it.
I think, you know, trying to match expectations that he sets for himself, maybe that he thinks others are setting for him, can be very difficult. I'm putting words in his mouth in that, but I can imagine that, you know, again, a face of a franchise, someone so accomplished in their career, whatever he does out there, he's going to help this ball club win ball games when he's at his best, whatever that is, in 2017. And we might be very surprised by what he can very much still be capable of. Remember last year he sat down 3 games in Atlanta. This year he sat down a couple of starts off in Atlanta, coincidentally, and he rebounded to have that kind of, you know, 2-month pace of 25 homers and 100 RBIs and hit 284, I think it was. So if that's in him, that will definitely play over the course of a major league season.
It will. And you know, the thing is, you go back to the pressure. He's always put pressure on himself. He's always wanted to be the man. He's embraced that. So that's not unfamiliar. It's not something he has shied away from. You know, when he was going good, yeah, I'll be the man. You know, there'll be other guys contribute to, but I want to be the guy that does it all the time, and he did it.
Yeah,
certainly
backed
knows
it
what
up.
he's capable of.
And Clint Hurdle also added, I thought this was interesting, one of the questions asked by a reporter today was, why 6th? You know, okay, you're going to slide him down the line, but why 6th? And Clint Hurdle said the analysts, the quantitative analysts of the Pirates, said that is the optimal spot. He kind of thought about it and said, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So that's how the number 6 came to be, at least for tonight.
Well, he's going to have opportunities wherever he is in the lineup too. I'm not an analyst, so I have no reason to believe that 6 is better than another. But he's going to come up in situations wherever he is in the batting order, where he can help, where he can get it done.
Well, you look at Mercer. I mean, when he's come up with men in scoring position, 368, he's knocked in almost as many runs as anybody else on the team, and he primarily is either batted leadoff or 8th. So
if you can
hit,
if you can hit wherever they put you in the lineup, you're going to have a chance to succeed.
And so tonight it is the 6th spot. (3-2) from DeGrom.
Jacob deGrom, Rookie of the Year, 2015, 14 wins in his first major league season. Last year, 8-7, had some surgery. I think late in the season, around September.
And so a 1-2-3 inning for deGrom. Mets still up 1-0. Cup bound again.
Indeed. Congratulations.
And here tonight, Mets opening with a 1-0 lead. And our mini countryman player profile tonight, one of the Mets, their leadoff man, Michael Conforto, the third player to play in the World Series, the College World Series, and the Little League World Series. And in that Major League World Series, he had 2 home runs in Game 5 of that World Series, the first rookie to do so since Andrew Jones. And a very athletically gifted family. Mother Tracy, a 3-time Olympic gold medalist in synchronized swimming. Dad, the linebacker at Penn State. So Conforto,
pedigree.
Yes, he is a tough out too, and cool. Struck him out the first time around.
We were talking earlier, Joe, about the Pirates maybe catching the Mets at the right time because of the medical situation, but also here in this ballpark, the Pirates have had their way with the Mets. Last 13 matchups, I think Pirates are 10-3 against the New York. What a great storied rivalry this has been over the years. And it was amped up too when Dwight Gooden called the Pittsburgh Pirates of '84 and '85, or one of those years, a bunch of little leaguers. That didn't go well here in Pittsburgh.
Well, Conforto wouldn't have minded that if someone said that about him, because he was.
You got to get that in the right context.
He has not hit like a little leaguer, one of baseball's leaders since getting some regular playing time. He's hit lefties, he's hit righties, and in that leadoff spot, much like the Pirates' Adam Frazier, he's one of the emergent young hitters in, I would say, in baseball. I would put Frazier in that class, and Conforto definitely. There's Adam Frazier. You're starting to see people talk about Frazier on all the national shows now.
Oh yeah, he's the hot bat.
Yeah. That's when you know you're doing something right, when everybody catches notice, not just here.
I didn't look and see if Conforto has just come out of the woodwork this year, or he's. I didn't look at the resume.
Well, he was a 10th overall pick 3 years ago, and then last year just got one of those young guys that got off to a slow start, couldn't hit lefties, didn't get a lot of regular playing time, and then had a great spring training. Terry Collins decided to take him north. He hit .422 in AAA last year. There was just nowhere else to put him, and so they said, all right, you're coming up. And remember, you mentioned Cespedes. Well, they have Cespedes, Bruce, you know, they've got guys that can play the corners, and you know, Granderson's there. They had Juan Lagares, who they signed to a long-term extension. Where's Conforto going to play? Well, Cespedes gets hurt. He could slide right in there, and he's not coming out. But somebody else is going to be coming out when Cespedes comes back. Long at bat here. 8 pitches already to Conforto.
Yeah, and consistently Chad Kuhl trying to keep the ball away from his power with the 13 home runs. Everything away, away, away.
Easy swing, but the ballpark will hold it. And the 9th pitch, the first out here in the 3rd. We're talking about some of the Mets injuries. Our Allegheny Health Network injury report for tonight, and that Mets pitching staff. Juris Familia, 60-day DL. Seth Lugo moved to the 60-day DL today. Steven Matz, one of their starting pitchers. Tommy Malone was originally supposed to start in this series. He just hit the DL. Of course, Noah Syndergaard, who is one of the most talented pitchers in baseball.
That's a direct hit when it hits your pitching staff like that. My goodness.
And Terry Collins, the Mets manager, who has done a fantastic job over the years with these Mets. They've got the worst ERA in baseball coming into play tonight. That has not happened since that first season. The 62 Mets, of course, the 120 loss team. It's not his fault. You see why. It's supposed to be one of the best starting rotations. So you're right, Steve. The Pirates are facing them at the right time right now.
Yeah, you've got to have pitching. You've got to have pitching.
And the Pirates, you know, I thought we talked about it. Who knew what we were going to get from some of the starting pitching this year? There's some injury questions, right, for the Pirates, and then young pitchers. And this has been a strength of this ball club this year.
It has. When we weren't hitting, we were doing a lot of really good pitching. Now we got to find a bounce that doesn't come right back to Francisco. And that's going to break.
It's a strikeout. And that should be a wild pitch.
Yep, down and in, and Reyes takes a shot at a pitch that is nowhere near hittable, winds up on first base.
So no out, but a strikeout to Kuhl. One of baseball's weird things. Craig Kimbrell struck out 4 in an inning last night for Boston.
Usually you see that from the knuckleball guys.
The catcher can't catch it. Yeah, that dates back years ago. Hey, let's look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders for tonight. Teams that have had the greatest percentage of starts made by homegrown players. A little tough to dissolve that, but basically, who are getting guys coming up through the system that are being the biggest part of their rotation? The Mets are up there. But the Pirates are number 1, and that just shows you, yeah, some of those young guys that the Pirates have entrusted this year.
Yeah, homegrown not meaning they all grew up in New York City.
Right. Or Pittsburgh.
Or Pittsburgh.
Yeah. In the organization.
In the organizations, yeah.
Yes.
And that's a reflection of a kind of a fun minor league system. It's always a little extra when you get the guys coming up through.
Jay Bruce a double his last time.
Not so much a double play candidate. He has that big uppercut swing, but he has grounded into 5. That's a pretty strong number early in the year for that type of a hitter.
Yeah, he hits a lot of fly balls, but if he does hit it on the ground, they've got 3 men on that right side for him.
Chad Kuhl comes to the set and stays a lot of times. That's why you get those late timeout calls by hitters. They get a little antsy.
Is that a measure to kind of mess with the base runner?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one of the things you're using against the guy. You come to the set and you hold it and let that potential base stealer get a little antsy. Start early. You can pick him off. Stealing bases is just such a fine line of that instinct of know when to go, when to make that break, and it's tough for everybody except the guy in Billy Hamilton. It's not tough for him. He can stop halfway and get a sandwich and then finish the trip. It's a delicate item.
Reyes with 5 steals has not been thrown out this year. Once a premier base stealer, but
he's not a kid anymore.
Yeah, 9 last year. I was surprised to see that he's only 33, but this is his 15th major league season.
Yeah, came up early. It's a tough situation. You got a big power bat, and you got to keep track of the running game. I don't know.
Deep but playable.
Some well hit balls so far, but way out into the outfield. And it was able to measure that one. And again, you're glad that Bruce went straight away. That ball pulled or pushed down the left field line as a home run. Very strong man. Remember when he first came up with the Reds? I don't know if it was his first game, but the first time we saw him as a Pirates, we had heard about him coming up through. He just had a whale of a game very early in his rookie year against the Pirates to say, okay, as advertised.
And has kept it up since then. A 3-time All-Star.
He has given the ball a ride twice. Conforto gave it a ride.
Neil Walker did the same thing his first time up. Flying out to center.
Close. Nice quick move by Chad. You know, that's one of the things that they don't talk about much. They talk about keeping the set position, and that's how close it was. Different things you can do, step off, quick pitch. But getting over a throw over there and making it close, that gets in the head of a potential base stealer. Oh, okay, maybe he's got a little bit better move than I thought. Sometimes that will inhibit them.
Reyes reached on a strikeout on a wild pitch. So Cool having to try to get a 4th out in this inning, so to speak.
Good fastball up and in. 0-2. Now Chad has a little wiggle room. Let's see if they stay in. We'll learn a little bit from how Cervelli sets up. They want that sinker down and away. He's moving that way. And they, I like it, but it did miss. I like the sequence. Up and in with a good fastball, and he had a little tail on that. So you go up and in, then you go low and away right out of the pitcher's handbook.
One, two. And this is deep, and this is gone. Neil Walker right down the line. And after the strikeout on the wild pitch, Walker comes up with his 5th home run of the year.
And who says you can't ever go home as he crosses home? Literally, figuratively. Take a look at the pitch location. Up and out over the plate where he can get the hands out, turn on it. Hooked it just inside. That's a Clemente wall home run. Just
Amy King
yeah.
having to get out of the way. Well, you give a team a 4th out, right? The ball gets away, and
yep.
Walker makes him pay. He's been hot in May. 3:29 coming in, and 3-0 Mets lead here in the 3rd, and Cool's pitch count nearing 70 now.
That's number 4 given up by Chad.
Routine for Frazier. But Neil Walker with the 2-run home run. And it's 3-0. Unlimited baseball break, and for the Milwaukee Brewers, Ryan Braun back on the 10-day DL. He's got that strained left calf that's been bothering him. David Price was not pitched this season, anticipating his debut on Monday. And Dallas Keuchel of the Astros also going to be coming up on Saturday for Houston. First place Houston, as they'll get their ace back. Chad Kuhl leads off the Pirates third.
Joe, you'll forgive me for double checking the information about the Mets having the highest ERA in baseball, because that is so unlike a Mets pitching staff. I had to look again, and thinking back to the days of Tom Seaver and Jerry Koosman and John Matlack. I mean, Dwight Gooden, through the years they have come up with some really good young pitchers. This is surprising. Of course, the injuries so much a part of that story.
Well, you have to go back to the days of Roger Craig, the last time the Mets had the highest ERA in baseball, their first season, 1962.
I think he lost 24, maybe something like that.
Yeah, they lost 120 as a team, all-time record.
Yeah, I got a favorite story about the '62 Mets. There's the strikeout number 3. The '62 Mets, Casey's team, with marvelous Marv Throneberry, one of the worst Major League Baseball players in history. So they're playing a game, and Marv is on first base. Okay, so they hit a gap shot. He comes all the way around to score, and then the opposing team gets the ball and throws it over the third base, and they call him out for missing the base. And Casey charges out, and the umpire said, "Don't even come any further, Casey." He missed second also. So that was that kind of team. And Casey wrote a book. Can anybody here play this game? And that was a very difficult year for Mr. Stengel and the Mets and everybody watching.
40 and 120, the final record. Adam Frazier grounded out his first time.
And I always hear people say a manager makes a big difference, and I respect that to a degree, but Casey was pretty good with the Yankees. He wasn't too good with the Mets.
Yeah, he was in his 70s by then. And
Talent.
I don't care if he was in his teens, he wouldn't have the energy to manage a ball club like that.
And with the Yankees, he could have picked him out of a hat every night.
Oh, yeah. The only team to rival that mark, the '03 Detroit Tigers, almost broke that record, but one that may stand forever. Again, a roller to second. And 2 up and 2 down. DeGrom has sent down 7 in a row. And we invite you to head out here to PNC Park for a free shirt Saturday tomorrow. It's a 7:15 start for the Pirates and the Mets. zoom on in and arrive early for a block party on Federal Street featuring the Line and Kugel Bar, and then head inside. First 20,000 fans receive a Pirates t-shirt thanks to Peoples. Get your Pirates tickets at pirates.com/free shirt Saturday. Josh Harrison with a base hit, taking one off the ground, puts one on it.
Is that pretty?
It's the Jay Hay show tonight.
That's as perfect as you can do it, folks, right there. So he hasn't hit the ball a long way tonight, but he's 2 for 2.
I mean,
that's what you call a perfecta.
Yeah, deadening the ball, catching it with your bat, running parallel to the line. Reyes, who's put down a few of those in his career, knew what he had in front of him. And he swiped it back last time, so with 2 outs, you might see him run it again.
Yeah, usually a successful steal breeds another attempt. Works the other way too. You get thrown out the first time, it'll make you think a little bit about going again.
And DeGrom knows it. Pirates trying to get one back. 2-run home run by Neil Walker, his first as a Met here. In the top half of this inning.
You had a close-up of the back of Jacob DeGrom before he threw that pitch. Spells his name small d, E, capital G-R-O-M. There it is, right there. I don't know what that's all about, but that's his name. We're going to go with that. Respect that.
One of 2 lowercase d guys on the team, Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher.
Yeah, that's right.
They used to use an upside down P for the D, but now they found a special actual letter there. There's some no-see-ums around there, little gnats.
Evidenced by the fact you don't see them.
Yeah.
You got to trust us. They're there.
Yeah, the hitters will tell you that.
Oh, there you go.
A creepy look on our Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl.
And you can't disguise that it's kind of a holiday thing around Christmas. that's not going to work.
Well, Bell with the count in his favor. He walked against DeGrom last time. With Polanco on deck. Cracked out to left, but Conforto will have room.
Green light, 3-0. Thought he might run into one, but it didn't quite get enough.
Still 3-0 New York.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV 4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Fourth inning tonight on a Friday Night Rocks. Look at that. No more picturesque place to have a baseball game than that.
And to be honest, if you add a little sun to that too, because sometimes you look down in that direction, you'll see a sunset heading down toward the West End Bridge. You can get some fabulous looks, summer, twilight, evening.
Hazy cloud cover tonight. As Drubal Cabrera will start it off. 6, 7, and 8 in that Mets order. Chad Kuhl at 70 pitches to start the inning. He's allowed 4 hits. Well, this Mets lineup, we've talked about the pitching, but the Mets as a team, 7th most in runs scored per game out of the 30 teams. So they're in that upper quarter of offenses, even despite the injuries. So they can still swing the bats.
Yeah, they've been hit most in their pitching.
That's without Cespedes and David Wright as well.
What a tough time it's been for David Wright.
Yeah.
This such a talented baseball player. It's been tough for him physically to stay on the field as much as he wants to be.
Cabrera just getting back from the disabled list himself. And he's called out on strikes.
Number 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 of them have been very good. The one that got away created that 4th out you were talking about. Does he go far enough? Well, he doesn't think so. I didn't think so, but Doug Eddings did. We'll take it. And we'll take that one very close to the outside corner.
Granderson with a ground single, RBI back in the second. That was the Mets' first run, and then Neil Walker hit a 2-out 2-run home run in the third. Popped him up. This time Mercer will get it. Kuhl bidding for his first 1-2-3 inning tonight. He got Rene Rivera to ground out his first time, but not this time. And that clears his spot to bring the pitcher up here in the inning.
And DeGrom gave Chad Kuhl a pretty good battle first time up, but eventually got him.
And 20+ pitches in each of the first 3 innings. He could use a quick one here. But DeGrom battled him in that first at bat before he finally got him to bounce to second. And he's got a base hit. Rivera does not run well, so he's stuck at second, but back-to-back 2-out hits right after you're thinking maybe Kuhl's going to get that 1-2-3 inning, buy himself another couple innings tonight.
Yep. Where he needed to be in the batting order, but after 2 quick outs, 2 quick hits, and now Cervelli wants to talk to his pitcher as the Mets try to make noise here in the 4th. Back up at the top of the batting order to that guy you were talking about, Conforto, with all good things beside his name in terms of offensive numbers.
And Ray Searage trying to counsel Kuhl. And we have not seen any activity in the Pirates' pen yet, but that might be indicating that there will be some. Yep. Jan Marinez. Grab a ball.
Yeah, a little bit of crossroads right here for Chad, because 3-0, that's workable for sure, but you're at the top of the batting order. You don't want to let this thing get out of hand.
And this is a tough customer.
Yeah, you got to have somebody ready.
Top 10 in batting average, home runs.
Crossroads at bat.
Poole struck him out in the first, and then Conforto a deep fly out on 9 pitches in the third.
Yeah, what you want to do with the way this stands now, you want to get this out. You want to get one more inning out of Chad. You want to take it down a little deeper into the ball game.
Good pitch.
Out in front of off-speed pitch. A little movement down and away. That's a young player's swing at a changeup. And he is still young. Stay up. Okay.
It will. And Poole will get out of it. 2 2-out hits left aboard. But the Mets still lead 3-0.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, total confidence pricing. Let's go Bucks!
3-0 New York. Here on this beautiful Friday night. Great night here in the spring here in Pittsburgh. And we got a moment here. Let's take a look at our Point Park tweets for the night. Michael comes up with a good one. Accidentally dressed up like Bob Walk today at work.
Accidentally.
Look at that. Same color pants and everything.
Socks. Yeah.
Somehow his arms are in the same position.
Yeah. Accidentally.
No, that's really good. That's the Bob Walk bobble chair that was given away at Saturday.
Give him a little applause, Bob. He did a heck of a job.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Now, if that guy wears that shirt on Tuesday when he goes back to work,
yeah,
the one's Bob's got on tonight, then we're going to start worrying. But one is a coincidence.
I need to get something going offensively. Jacob deGrom rolling right along with just 2 hits the first 3 innings. He was very good last start against the Angels, where he went 7 innings, scoreless innings, 4 hits. The previous 3 starts for deGrom, a total of 17 innings and 12 runs, 12 earned runs.
Well, he's been bugging the Pirates hitters all night. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. He's tough enough to hit.
We're closing in on a swarm.
Well, DeGrom, since he debuted, and Mets put out a number that, which was about 3 years ago. His ERA is 2.83 coming into tonight. It'd be the 5th lowest in baseball since he debuted. He's tough. Polanco.
That's tough.
Deep to right center, and there it goes. Well, that'll bug him. Second home run for Polanco. And that cool light display here at PNC Park.
He lit that pitch up for sure. Got a lot of it to a big part of the ballpark, and nothing cheap. That was not a wall scraper. He goes out, takes that pitch out of weight, turns it back to right center field with a lot of carry.
Good to have Polanco back and healthy. Estimated at 411 feet on StatCast.
That's one of those majestic types. Very high. You got plenty of time to appreciate it. Sailing on into the bleachers in right center field. That's a lot of power.
Oh, and that's why you bring your glove. Look at that.
Well, he called off that guy that on the left that didn't have a glove, so he took charge of the play.
Good to see that again from Polanco.
Strikeout number 4 for DeGrom. DeGrom is not one of those. I haven't seen the 97, 98, but 94, 95 as Polanco takes a bow. Thank you very much. Nice to be back.
That's a nice souvenir.
He's got the Pirate jersey, the something involving the pen, so he's got sports covered this time of year.
Andrew McCutchen in the 6th spot tonight. Really said that he was actually kind of excited about the fact that this is the lowest that he's ever been in the batting order, in the sense that, you know, for the sense of the team and for him, try to get him back on track.
96 miles an hour from DeGrom.
Yeah, McCutchen did not starting in each of the last 2 games. And look at those numbers. That was after he was sat down in Atlanta last year in that 3-game series, and then, you know, for 2 months, stretch that over a 6-month span. I mean, you get 100 RBIs and 25 homers. Nice batting average. Maybe that's what it'll take here, just to have him take that pressure off himself and get back to being that kind of hitter. Doesn't have to be the MVP. He just has to be the best Andrew he can be, is what Clint Hurdle said in terms of what they are expecting from McCutchen. Just the best Andrew he can be. And those last 2 months of last season shows that it's pretty good.
Perfecta. Caught the outside corner. Strikeout number 5 for DeGrom.
And
that's
2 in a row after the home run.
That's going to be a big time pitch to try to catch up with for any major league hitter. It's right on the button.
Yeah, that's about perfect.
Well, to be quite honest, when you're going bad, that's the kind of pitches you see. It just seems to be. You can't get a break. Ball won't foul in. They'll throw perfect pitches at you, along with your current struggles, and just almost like piling on.
That's a lot of what was happening to Cervelli for a while, but he's got 6 hits in his last 8. That average starting to come back up now. pull something out of his pocket. Got that little thumb guard on. And that's a fair ball.
Done.
And the inning is over. But the Pirates get on the board. Gregory Polanco in his first game off the DL. Home run number 2. And now the Pirates within 2.
Yesterday was a good day for former Pirates manager and center fielder Bill Verdon. He was immortalized in his native Missouri with a statue yesterday. It was the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame that created a statue of Verdon's famous catch of a Yogi Berra fly ball in Game 1 of the 1960 World Series. Now, the statue is located in Springfield, Missouri, where Verdon played his high school and college ball, and also where he currently lives. And the statue was an idea from the president and executive director of the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. He had a baseball card depicting that, where he saw that particular pose celebrating Verdon's defense, and said, why not? Let's make a statue of it. Verdon played 11 years for the Pirates and then managed them for 2 seasons in 72 and 73. He's also the all-time winningest manager in Houston Astros history. And Steve, I know you played for Bill Verdon in those 2 seasons, and I know you're also a big fan of his and quite happy he got this honor.
Absolutely. He's one of the finest men I've ever met in the game of baseball. I'll just put it that simply. Wonderful honor for Bill and Shirley. There's a pitch that misses. I did put a little video together with Ken Brown, KB, and sent it out and did the usual compliments and all the accolades and what an honor it was to play for him. And I also said at the end, I said, one last thing, Bill, when is the statue for Shirley going to be completed? So he'll get a kick out of that. But it was an honor to be on his baseball team. Bill Verdon, one of the best.
Hit deep out to right center. And it'll be extra bases for Reyes. He's going to try for 3. Harrison's relay is late. And it's skidded away from Freese. A triple for Reyes.
It was going to be at least 2. There might have been a little bobble. I think there was a little bobble out on the warning track that probably allowed Reyes to hit the switch and say not 2 but 3. There it is, and that's the difference between a double and a triple. Long run. Split the difference between Polanco and McCutchen. Close at third base. It was going to be close, but then the ball gets away and the drama is gone. Leadoff triple as the Mets try to add on. Pirates will play in.
And that one will be plenty deep enough. Bruce will get the run in. And 4-1 New York.
That's what you call quick point.
Oh, 87 pitches for Cool with 1 out in the 5th. Still a 3-run game, though. He's hanging on despite the Mets really making everything tough on him tonight.
Yep, and he's scheduled to bat second in the bottom half of the inning, so Clint would like to get him through the rest of this.
Foul ball.
A lot of distance in the balls that the Mets have hit. Well, DeGrom's used to pretty good support. 4 starts ago, they put up 16 runs in his start.
Jan Mariñez back at work. Got up last inning as well. Neil Walker hit his first home run as a Met here. 2-run shot in the 3rd. He's hit 43 home runs here now. This is his latest. You're talking about those pitches up for Cool, an intentional, kind of change of pace, change of eye angle, but Walker was able to connect.
Yeah, you can't live up there. That if you're the kind of guy like Chad who wants movement, you're going to save that for special occasions, and if you miss, you miss out of the strike zone. It's a chase pitch, that 97 miles an hour.
Those 43 home runs here. First one as a Met here tonight. Good look from outfield there. Reyes hit a ball right out there for a triple here to start the inning.
Now, Neil Walker has found success in New York, but has not been able to score a razor blade commercial yet.
Well, this New York team doesn't have restrictions on facial hair, so.
Who does anymore?
Yankees?
They still have it?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Marlins did last year. There's certainly no restrictions on the Mets. He looks good in a beard anyway, right?
That's darn close to a playoff beard.
Yeah. Well, that's first rounder right there.
Yeah, that's good coverage.
Payoff pitch. And Walker at it again.
This is large.
Neil Walker's hit 2 home runs tonight. A smattering of applause despite sinking the Pirates down 4.
That's going to be it for Chad Cool. Down and in, and he just goes down and gets it. That's that signature left hand uppercut swing. Go down, a lot of lift, a lot of distance.
Definitely improved the last 3 seasons against righties. And Jan Mariñez coming on here with the Buccos down 5-1 in the 5th.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, Neil Walker back home and a couple of home runs tonight. Driven in 3 of the Mets' 5 runs. 5-1 New York. Chad Kuhl done after 4 1/3 tonight. Now Yan Mariñez coming on. Lucas Duda double back in the second.
So far, so good for Yan. Overall numbers. Made a couple of appearances for the Pirates so far.
Finished it up yesterday for Ivan Nova.
Just 3 1/3 innings so far in the Pirate uniform.
The first one 2 2/3 scoreless, and then yesterday after Nova ran out of gas in the 9th. And he's walked Duda. And let's go back to our studios with the game break, Paul Alexander. Well, thank you, Paul. And Schebler, who, you know, the Reds really liked him when they got him from the Dodgers in that deal. Big home run hitter in the minors, but starting to translate in that bandbox ballpark. Cabrera to the gap.
That's a problem.
And the hard-hit Mets. No stopping them so far tonight. Second and third was still 1 out.
This ball left the bat and was heading for the gap the minute it cleared the infield. And low enough too, so Mets runners had no issue that that ball could have been a situation with a miracle catch off to the races, and Cabrera could see it the whole way. Easy trip into second base. And the Pirates got to try to cut this off and stop the bleeding.
Every Met batter with a hit except for Conforto, who was their leading hitter coming into tonight. Anderson drove in 1 in the second. Trying to keep it at arm's length here with the infield in and 1 out. Cool. 4 1/3, gave up 8 hits tonight. 5 runs.
Certainly want to keep the ball in the infield, but now it changes. 1 and 2 count. You're looking for a strikeout, and Granderson, bigger strikeout numbers that you might expect. Just over 150 at bats now. 37 strikeouts. I mean, it's not a bushel basket full, but he can be had, and you certainly need to have that happen right here.
Spoiled that off-speed pitch from Mariñez.
Right now, you really don't want to be dealing with much of anything delivered toward home plate that has any elevation. That gets over the infield, you're going to have possibility of another run. On the ground, you got a shot or a swing and a miss.
Little twist foul.
He's trying to get it by him, 95 miles an hour.
He's got a good arm. That's why the Pirates wanted to claim him from the Milwaukee Brewers, as they did a week ago.
Let's see if they try to go downstairs, and if so, Cervelli's got to be on alert. Runner at third base. Want it down and in. See, Prince are up and now up, and all of a sudden the glove comes upstairs. And this away. And not by much.
Infield in with 1 out. Two and 2 on Granderson.
There's the ball in the dirt that it doesn't bite.
Duda walked. First batter Marinas faced.
Right now, it's not going to be tragic if you lose him. It sets up a double play. You're down at the bottom part of the batting order. It's not terminal. Still like to get the strikeout. That would set the stage for an escape.
That was the 8th pitch of this at bat. The old now what talk. And Marinas new to the ball club. Cervelli trying to learn him.
And there's just a little talk about don't give in. If we lose them, we're still in business. Don't throw a strike just to throw a strike.
Rene Rivera on deck. Popped him up. Will it stay in play? No one can find it.
Fortunately, because that ball is up in the air, not too far foul. It's that kind of twilight time in between daylight and darkness, and both Cervelli and Bell, when the arms go up, you know they don't see it. And Josh, Cervelli just out of the picture same way, and fortunately the ball goes in the dugout.
Yeah, that's that time right now, twilight. Here comes pitch number 9, and that'll hold the runners and get the second out.
May not seem like much, 5-1 the ball game, but it could be down the road if you leave these 2 runners that wound up at second and third with 1 out. If you can leave them there, that would be important.
So on the 10th pitch of that at bat, excuse me, that clears the way for Rivera. Base hit his last time. Duda walked. He's at third. Cabrera, a little bit better base runner, about average. He's at second.
Who you want to deal with here, Rivera or DeGrom? First base open.
DeGrom's the pitcher, and usually it's not a conversation, but DeGrom already with a hit tonight. He's better than a 200 career hitter.
Yeah, he doesn't swing the bat like a lot of pitchers. Swings it better. But it still is a pitcher trying to hit.
And Rivera, a 219 career hitter. So really, you know, the real hitter is always better, but then you load the bases, you have nowhere to put them, you hit them, etc. So you leave some room for error facing Rivera here.
And if you got a guy out there who has difficulty throwing strikes, that's a risk. But so far so good.
Yeah,
0-2.
Marinas came on after the second home run tonight by Neil Walker.
Now you don't need the strikeout. It would be fine. But you don't need to try to spike a breaking ball out in front of home plate either. We got to get him to chase.
Right, and freeze.
All right, or pop up ends the inning.
Mets get 2, and it's 5-1 New York. Steve Blast, a brilliant performance, a 2-0 shutout of the Reds, a fourth complete game for you. Struck out a career high 11 of Willie Stargell with the home run off of Tony Cloninger. So
2-0. Yeah. Thank you, Willie. Yeah, that was not much fun pitching against the Big Red Machine in that decade. But every once in a while, you got it right, and yeah, it's fun. You walk off after beating those guys, Perez and Rose and Bench, and Lee May and Concepcion.
And he struck out 11 of those guys.
11. Double figure. I didn't hit 11. Well, I didn't hit double figures very often.
These days, double figures are a lot more plentiful than they were then. Yeah. Guys just didn't strike out. Well, literally half as much as they do now.
I wish I struck out more. Well, all's well, it ends well. 2-0 shutout against the Reds is fine.
Well, that was on this day. And, on yesterday, we were talking earlier about Bill Verdon, who got that great award today.
There's the quail.
Yeah, yesterday being immortalized with a bronze statue at the Missouri Baseball or Sports Hall of Fame.
That's a great catch right there. I think that was a World Series catch. Oh, it had to be at Yankee Stadium. Just a principled man, maybe one of the most respected guys. And Joe, I played for him 2 years, 72 and 73. It was the best of times for me and the worst of times. And Bill Verdon was the same through the whole thing. He was in my corner. He stood so tall, and I was a problem for him in 73, not behavior-wise, although that's a whole different subject. But coming off a year where I'd won 15 and actually 19, and then couldn't pitch anymore, and he didn't know what to do with me, the whole organization. And Bill Verdon never wavered, and that's something you remember.
Alan Hansen pinch hitting. Well, that's a mark of a good manager. Every player that talks about how he treats the guys the same, whether they're the star or the last guy on, or they're on a hot streak or cold. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Johnny Barbado is going to get up.
Yep. Bill, I had a game against the Dodgers where we were out there and they scored 5 runs for me in the first inning when I was pitching for Bill, and I went out there, I was throwing the ball all over the place. It was one of those good years too. And he comes out, and you could always tell with Bill when the vein in the forehead was out that there was a rival of an issue. Yeah. And he came out, and I said, I'm going to really get it. And I was frustrated. I was upset. They scored 5 runs in the top of the first, so I'm going out there throwing the ball. Come over and looked right in the eye like he always did. He said, well, are you trying? I said, yeah. And then turned around and walked back. I wasn't going to go toe-to-toe with him, but I let him know that I was trying. It worked out. We won the ball game, so all's well, it ends well. But he was still is just a great guy. And I really had a couple of goals with Bill Verdon the years I knew him. One was to try to make him laugh, and it wasn't easy. You had to work to make Bill laugh, but what I did. The other one was to try to avoid injury when I shook hands with him, and that's still the case.
I haven't shaken his hand before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be aware next time.
Yeah. He's had some health issues, but boy, he is a guy that for most of his 80-some years was one of the strongest guys I've ever run across in so many ways.
Still 5-1 to the 5. look at this one on our Allegheny Health Network. Super Mo, wish we had better news. Neil Walker's at 2 home runs tonight. He plays for the Mets.
Five to 1 for the Pirates.
Yeah. Johnny Barbado now on.
Appearance number 11. The ERA so far 3.14. Just worked 14 innings. Pirates got him from the Yankees April 17th.
Done a nice job in these types of situations.
Need the fort to be held until we can put some more points up on the board. Pirates trail by 4. Just 3 hits for the Pirates, including the Polanco home run.
That was good to see.
Right on the button again. Good contact, but we'll take the 4-3. You know, another story about Bill Verdon when he managed the Yankees, it made me think about Barbado coming from them. When he was managing the story goes, George Steinbrenner called down to the dugout to make a suggestion, and Bill said, I've got a suggestion. He said, if you ever call down here again during the course of a ball game, you got to get yourself another manager.
He stood up to George Steinbrenner.
Yes, he did. I don't know of anybody that Bill Verdon has backed down to.
Wow.
I really don't. And
that's very admirable. And that list includes Barry Bonds.
That's right, yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If that had escalated, Barry Bonds would have had his hands full and then some.
And this is Bill Verdon in his probably 60s at that time?
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah. He's one of those guys, if you get into it with Bill Verdon back in those days, you better finish him off because he wasn't going to quit.
He's going to have that statue there at the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame for generations to come. That'll be fantastic for Bill Verdon. He spends a little time in spring training with the Pirates every year.
Glad to have him there. He missed spring training 2 years ago because of illness. For the first time, I think, in 62 years, I think Shirley was telling us, his wife.
Here, Michael Conforto, the Mets' hottest hitter, the only one without a hit tonight. 0 for 3.
Happens. Somebody gets left out of the party. It's not a done deal.
Yeah, it's a 4-run game with 4 innings at the bat left.
So keep him where he is right now and see what we can do.
Favorable count. Barbado wasn't happy with the location of the last one. Rookie pitcher trying to stick and stay. And a 1-out walk. And get access to every Pirates home game with the new ballpark pass for just $29.99 a month. You get a standing room only ticket for every game, including all the fireworks nights, the free shirt Saturdays, and the next Fan Jam postgame concert with Chicago. Find out how to do that. Pirates.com/ballpark pass. So
we got a theme.
It's a great deal.
We've got a state, Florida. We got Chicago. We got a state. We got a city.
Maybe a county coming up.
Yeah. All kind of names for the groups. Boston was a favorite.
Yeah, all right.
Dust in the Wind by Kansas.
Ah. Jose Reyes tripled his last time.
We're nearing a record of
you know, people are shouting
called
at their TV right now, coming up with other.
Oh yeah, all the bands. Yeah. Berlin.
Wow.
I think they had a song out of Top Gun. Movie Top Gun.
You're always great on Friday Night Rocks.
Well, I'm not current. Got to go back.
Don't look at me and think I am either.
But it's so great. Friday Night Rocks showcasing a lot of the local folks and bands, regardless of what the name is.
They make a name for themselves.
Working hard to make good music. Yep. Popular.
Good brother Earl, our featured act tonight. Great voices. Easy dribbler for the second out. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but when you come on trailing, you can put up those zeros. Pirates have come from behind from this deficit. This is not insurmountable.
And Johnny should be a Pirate, shouldn't he? Redbeard. Pirate.
Out of Miami, Florida. A coastal town, right?
Yeah.
He does say that he likes to get out on the boat and fish and catch those big, kingfish, marlin out there.
I'll have to take a boat up to Mount Washington because there's a good place up there called Redbeards. Stop in every once in a while and make sure that everything's in order.
You can probably go on land to get there too.
Yep, if you're so inclined.
Right, beat me to it. Jay Bruce tonight, a double and a sac fly.
By the way, I expect very, very good things from that mention. By the way, we should see the Gateway Clipper coming down here any moment, shouldn't we? We'll wait to give you some good news.
On Jay Bruce. Bruce with that familiar flick of the arm as he waits. They'll try a pickoff move at second. Conforto back.
Well, was it last homestand we saw a pickoff from Cervelli, I believe, when the Bucks were in town.
Quickly unloading that one.
Oh, nice follow through. Well, I'll tell you, whenever those catchers throw, whether they get the guy or not, those eyes are locked in, because that is a big deal for a catcher to pick somebody off. That's a real feather in their cap. They like that a lot.
Cervelli's done it twice this year. 2 walks in the inning from Barbado. Now with 2 men on and 2 out, Neil Walker, who is homered in back-to-back at bats.
So you got Redbeard against Blackbeard.
One Pirate who left the ship.
And one's trying to keep it afloat.
It's his 500th career RBI after that home run. Him up, but in a tough spot. Who wants it? No one can get there. Conforto will score. It's 6-1. 4 RBIs tonight for Neil Walker. Right spot, right time with 2 outs.
No man's land. Jordy trying to throw a little fake at him at the end, maybe to hold somebody at a base.
So 3 hits, 4 RBIs.
Kind of a rude homecoming.
Well, his bat has been pretty much the difference tonight. That is a foul ball. And some nifty footwork by Corey Blazer. Watch the umpire on the left.
Getting out of the way and making the correct call at the same time.
and 2 strikes. Doubled back in the second. Two walks and then that bloop hit by Walker. That's no bloop. Polanco lost it in the lights. Bruce is in. Walker will score, and the Mets beaten up on the Buccos.
And the Pirates hearing it from the crowd here on Friday night.
I think it was going to fall in anyway, but probably would have been able to cut that ball off.
That was going to be a base hit and a run.
New LED lights installed this year, but in the same location, same light stanchions in years past. Neil Walker has driven in 4 tonight. A couple of home runs. One of those innings that doesn't feel like it should be going like this, but 3 runs across. Polanco homering tonight. And in his first game off the DL back in the field as well. A tough moment for him. And for the Pirates, who have not been down by a big margin in some time now. Winners of 8 of their last 12. Asdrubal Cabrera doubled his last time. Eight 1 Mets in the 6th. Barbado, a couple of walks, and then the bloop hit by Walker. And then Duda's scampered. That eluded Polanco. Walker with those 4 runs batted in tonight equals his Mets high.
And it's one of those games at this point where it's kind of like slow torture. DeGrom has been very good, just one blemish, and the Mets just keep scoring. And we've only thrown 2 zeros up on the board to stop the bleeding.
Well, you talked about, how surprised you were at the Mets ERA, the worst in baseball coming into tonight. DeGrom has still been that one exception, that one anchor still. Jammed him, and Harrison able to get the final out. New York with 3 more. 8-1 Mets.
Roots Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Cruze and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
And the Gateway Clipper Princess want to wish congratulations to Lauren and Nick Shulman, who's married today, celebrating the princess.
Yeah, there's a place to have a reception right there.
Yeah.
That's a good floating party right there.
Congratulations on your first moments of matrimony.
Yep, they're sailing on to the horizon of happiness. We're not feeling the same in this ballpark right now.
So far, not as memorable. Although probably the same amount of photos taken. Jacob deGrom has been awfully tough to hit tonight.
And they got him back last time out. Something fell into place for deGrom. As we said, 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball against the Angels last time out after getting knocked around 3 previous starts. But he got something figured out. By the way, that year, 2015 Rookie of the Year All-Star, pitched 1 inning, struck everybody out. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he is.
For rookie, that's a pretty exciting year.
He's been a tough guy to beat. Harrison's been the only one to have a couple hits off him tonight. Let's take a look at our Point Park Instagram. And oh, hey, the bride is here to see deGrom. You got the last pitch before Pam's hitched. I like that. Well, that's fun. I'm glad they chose PNC Park tonight to help celebrate. That's wonderful.
Pitching and hitching.
Both will win you ball games, right? Or whatever the game you're in. Game of marriage. Bell tonight has drawn a walk. And Potenziano, assistant athletic trainer of the Pirates, keeping tabs on Cervelli, as a catcher always has some sort of ding or bruise or trying to keep him close to full strength and mud free.
Always something going on with Francisco. Something going on there with deGrom as he goes up to 96 miles an hour. Strikeout number 7.
And he'll have another.
Inside heat at 96 miles an hour.
Well, if things go to form, and Paul Alexander talked about it in the pregame show tonight about how the Pirates, the last 2 home series, they won each series, but they lost the first one and then won the second 2. And looking at the pitching form for this series, if you look at it on paper, here's their toughest guy that the Pirates will face. Wheeler's been all right this year, and Matt Harvey has not been himself. So with Cole going tomorrow, we'll see how it goes. But still, 7 runs. It's a tough hill to climb here tonight, but not over. Polanco tonight, first game back. He was activated yesterday, but the first game back from that hamstring concern to put him on the DL for 10 days. Had that majestic soaring home run off deGrom his last time.
Yeah, that made it a 3-1 ball game. That was a feel-good hit. Have him back, first of all, a couple of different ways. Have him back and put yourself in a position. Okay, we're on the board. We're only 2 down, but it has gone south since then.
And also a testament to deGrom and his ability too. I mean, next batter Freese strike out. Next batter McCutchen struck him out. did not waver. Down the line, and Reyes squeezes the final out. 9 in a row sent down by Jacob deGrom. The Mets have been spilling fire tonight. Music from Five Horse Johnson on a Friday Night Rocks. We're still rocking tonight. Pirates having a tough one in this series opener against the Mets. 8-1 as we start the 7th. Anderson in on the action early. Got the game's first run across with his single in the 2nd. Beautiful night. A little cool still. Spring-like. Tell you, after all that rain in the series finale and then in Atlanta.
Yeah, how'd you get through that night? How did you get through that rain delay, 3 hours?
A lot of.
Don't tell me it was all right.
Well, I mean, we stayed busy. Put it that way.
Did you?
Yeah.
For 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it didn't hurt that the pens were on. That was some of it.
That was a test. And then, ironically, what was the previous one? Did it matched or exceeded or fell just short of the 19-inning game?
No, that's right. It
years ago.
And it ended a few minutes later. Another late night or early morning, however you want to put it, in Atlanta.
Is there any reason why they didn't call it after 6 innings?
Probably because it was a close game. That's what John Wayner was saying. That he said he's never seen a close game that was already an official game called.
Has he ever seen a close game with a 3-hour delay? Maybe well, he does. Yeah.
Now we have at the very least.
I was just wondering, sitting there and wondering, what's going on.
I'm sure you stayed up and watched.
I did not.
Every moment.
I did not. I did not.
Caught it in the paper the next day.
There's no chance that was going to be in my edition of the paper I got.
So first strikeout for Johnny Barbado, and then we look down in the Pirates minor league system. Many highlights, one of which Cole Tucker, who might be the standout of that 2014 draft for the Pirates. He was a first rounder, hitting .337, 27 steals. That leads all of professional baseball, and he's made his way to Bradenton this season at age 20. So shortstop, looking forward to seeing him at some point down the road.
I'll tell you, Joe, I remember when the Pirates signed him, he came to Pittsburgh with his dad, and I don't know if I've ever seen a more articulate young man who handled himself with the media. Just so impressive. I said, well, when he comes around and wants to broadcast, I'm going to be out of a job. I know that, because he well-spoken, just very accomplished beyond his years in handling himself. Glad to see he's having this success in the field too.
Got 2 more hits tonight in Jupiter. Otherworldly performance from Tucker tonight, but the the health had been a concern for him. He had not played more than 80 games. Already more than halfway there this year, so could be a fast riser in that regard. DeGrom with his second hit tonight. Mets have a dozen base hits. It's one of those nights.
They are looking like a team that has not struggled like they have. They've been struggling. This doesn't look like that kind of a baseball team. Tight pitching and a whole lot of offense.
Well, DeGrom has been the aberration. He's still been that anchor in that pitching staff, and then this club coming into tonight, top quarter in baseball in runs scored, so they still have had a good offense. One guy without a hit tonight has been their hottest hitter in Conforto. He's now 0 for 4.
But coming into the game at 19 and 26.
Daniel Hudson looks like he'll be next. Yeah, the Pirates coming into tonight 22 and 26. 4 games out of first as play entered today in 5th place.
Fortunate division to be in.
It's amazing how close everybody is. Diving stop for Harrison.
Well, you get the kind of effort you get every night. Not surprising from Josh Harrison. A couple of knocks and giving up the body to get that last out here in the 7th inning.
That'll lead you into the stretch. Nice play by Jay Hay. Scoreboard 8-1 Mets here And MLB.TV Premium is back. It's better than ever. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live on more than 400 supported devices. Plus, you get a free subscription to At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Home runs tonight. Polanco for the Pirates, 2 for Neil Walker. He's driven in 4. And your phone will tell you that. David Freese is fanned twice against DeGrom. He has struck out 7.
Came into the game with 76, 84. Continues to be, what, 20-some strikeouts over innings pitched. Great percentage, great ratio.
Yeah. Strikeouts per 9 in the league among starters. And he has sent down 9 in a row since the Polanco home run. Another 2 Pirate hits tonight, both by Josh Harrison. One was a bunt. Running into a tough pitcher tonight, and on the other side, not going the Pirates' way either.
Still plenty of arm left. This young man is 6'4". He's plenty tall enough, only 180 pounds, so he's not that bulky kind. He's got the perfect body to get the ball to home plate as quickly as he does. And some more of that left in the tank. 97 miles an hour. You know, Tom Seaver was a great Mets pitcher with great strikeouts and everything, but he had a different kind of body. He was about 6'2", but he was big and bulky. He always said that his backside was what he got the ball to home plate with those big leg muscles and backside, and he was built different than DeGrom, but you can get that speed 2 different ways, how you put together. Seaver was, I always described him as overpowering to spots. Hall of Famer.
This one gets through, and McCutchen with a base hit.
It's my understanding that Tom Seaver is not in great health these days. That's sad to hear.
Now, Hall of Fame pitcher came up with the Mets.
Did he ever?
Well, McCutchen trying to get things going too for his last 25 before that base hit, and sometimes you need one like that.
Well, they talked about going more to the opposite field, not trying to commit to pulling the ball. I'll tell you what, he's got the most stylish gloves tonight.
So McCutchen aboard for Cervelli. Well, but not quite well enough. Bruce tracks that down. Look at our Nissan road ahead. Here's the pitching forms for the rest of the series. All night games, and Zach Wheeler will go against Garrett Cole. Cole looks to rebound for the Buccos tomorrow night. And then Matt Harvey, not having the same success, injury plagued last few seasons. Tyler Glasnow will go for the Buccos Sunday night.
Was Harvey the one that used to be called the Dark Knight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they still call him that, but he's
smart body type. Not Seaver-like numbers. Every time we went to New York, I either had to face Tom Seaver, Jerry Kuzman, John Matlack, manager, whoever it was, say, hey, well, we'll get you 2 rounds tonight. Go get them. We didn't always get 2.
Yeah, the Mets have always seemed to have that great pitching, and coming into tonight, worst in baseball in earned run average. A lot of that has to do with their bullpen, with an ERA over 6 in the last 3 weeks, and I saw a number that I think it's been 30-some games now. The Mets have used at least 3 pitchers in every game. As Jaso's out on deck, he would bat for the pitcher, but so their starting pitching has not been lasting long. The bullpen's been overused. Hansel Robles had to get sent down, for instance, after a great start. So starting pitching is not helping the bullpen, but all that has changed for the Mets tonight. Well, the Pirates, for the first time tonight, have 2 hits in an inning. So Jordy Mercer now 1 for 3 after that great series in Atlanta.
You know, I forgot to mention another Mets pitcher that was quite difficult to deal with. Nolan Ryan.
Oh yeah.
When he came up at 19, was throwing 200 miles an hour. Not quite sure where he was going.
Very briefly a Met.
Yep.
In the 60s, then went to the Angels. John Jaso pinch hitting. 2 for 8 with a home run as a pinch hitter. Pirates' first real chance since the first inning.
Oh. Long hill to climb tonight. It was always interesting to go to New York to play the Mets, though, because my family in my hometown, about 100 miles away, there'll always be people down there.
Oh yeah.
Tickets to deal with, and back to the city, and it's great to have everybody there. But it was hectic, especially because back in the day at Shea Stadium, starting pitchers would warm up in front of the dugout. So, hey, Steve, I'm trying to warm up. Hey, Steve, it's Bob Cunningham from Salisbury Bank. How you doing? yeah, Bob.
You're trying to get ready and psyched up for the game.
Yeah, I got Seaver. I'm looking down the barrel with Seaver. It's always good to have Bob there at the games. He always came down. He said, "It's Bob, your banker." There wasn't much work for Bob to deal with back in those days.
Especially if he kept bugging you while you're warming up.
Yeah. He said, when's free agency coming?
Yeah.
When are you going to make some money for me?
This is going to be DeGrom's 100th pitch of the night. Wondering if he's starting to tire a little bit. Pirates have gotten to him with a couple of hits here in the 7th.
Well, we've seen 96 and 97 miles an hour. And that strikeout to David Freeser's number 8, by the way. So we'll see.
68% of strikes. Tumbleweed.
As you can imagine, a quiet Mets bullpen.
And it comes back. A strikeout, Jaso. 2 hits, but 2 left. 7-run lead through 7.
Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel. We'll beat anybody's price. Find out more at barrel.com. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
On a Friday Night Rocks, the Mets with an 8-1 lead as we start the 8th.
Daniel Hudson taking some maybe baby steps, if you will. Last 4 appearances unscored upon. We'll hope that there's a little something to build on. A little work here in the 8th inning. Chad Kuhl, Mariniers Barbado gave up 3 runs in a couple of innings on 3 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 1, and now Daniel Hudson.
Bruce Walker Duda. Mets with a lefty-laden lineup tonight. 3 switch hitters in there as well. Pirates have gone with all the righties.
That Walker guy coming up again, huh?
Yeah, 4 RBIs for Walker, 2 home runs tonight. It's funny how, and I don't know if it's just we talk about it when it happens or does it really happen a lot, but you know, the guy gets traded, he goes back to his old team, or he's in his hometown, or you know, and in this case for Walker, both they seem to perform a little bit better. I don't know if that's just we highlight it when it happens. But it's happened tonight. And we're back in the 3rd inning. Walker with his first home run as a Met here. And then Polanco with an answer. That made it a 3-1 game. First game back off the DL for Polanco. That was good to see. But then Walker again. And capping a 9-pitch at bat. It started to give the Mets some room, and then they scored 3 more times in the 6th. Half of those brought in by Walker tonight. A lot of those Red Diamonds runs scored.
You know, you got a ball game that's 5-1. You can kind of see that you've got a shot. You make a run, but boy, you take it up to 8-1. It's not that it's a done deal, but you start thinking along those lines. 5-1. Okay, maybe you could, you know, have a big half inning. But 8-1, you got to have a monster inning or a couple of real good innings, and it just hasn't happened for the Pirates.
Like the Pirates had in the 10th inning the other night in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a second out, and the first time since the first Walker's been retired. Now, when you said you were talking earlier about when you would pitch in New York and you'd have, you know, friends and family there, did you feel an extra jolt that you wanted to do better in front of them?
Well, if I did, I felt better after the game, you know, because people were around. But you're so consumed with what you have to do. Yeah, you want to. You leave the hotel, you get on the team bus. Yeah, you got the folks coming down from up in the hinterlands, like to do good. But you know, you've got that mentality whenever you get the team, you get on the bus to go to the ballpark the night you're going to pitch, and pretty soon you're so consumed with what you're going to be involved in later on, you don't think much about it. I mean, I've pitched games in the minors or the majors where I got in the car and left people waiting for me. I got in the car to go home, you know. I forgot that they were there. Of course, I do that a lot now, and I'm not even pitching. It can happen. I mean, it takes so much concentration, so much. You have to stay focused, and it's hard to imagine how intense it is out there. I mean, there's nothing happening until he throws that ball, and there's thousands of people watching you. Not that you're aware of that, but that's just the way it is, and you're naked out there.
I was talking with Daniel Hudson when the Pirates were in Arizona, as Jerry Blevins starts to get up. And for Hudson, you know, really playing his career in Arizona, it was an emotional return. It was a lot of, like you said, dealing with folks before and after the game, interested parties, reporters, friends, family. But he said when he was pitching, he didn't have any particular interest to do better or worse, because a few of the guys that he faced, he wasn't even teammates with anyway. And like you said, it demands so much focus.
Yeah, you're locked in. If you're starting to think about that stuff, you're thinking about that during the ball game, you're not where you should be mentally.
Ahead 1-2. And he'll strike out Duda. So a 1-2-3 inning for Daniel Hudson. Bucks bats down 7.
Made my way to the Miller Lite Crow's Nest, a brand new area at PNC Park. Now the weather's about to get hot for summer, so make sure you check out this bar. 4 sides, all open air. You can also grab liquor drinks and take them to your seat this year. Now as you see, there's a couple tables and chairs to hang out, you and your friends, and also a nice little lounge area and a cool little patio, refreshment area right over there. So as the weather gets hot, make sure you come out here, the Miller Lite Crow's Nest, to cool off behind section 107 at PNC Park. Joe and Steve, I think I'm going to hang out here the rest of the night. You guys okay with that?
So not only okay, Robbie, we'll both be out there in the next 7 minutes.
Well, that's why you got that
like
zip line installed up here. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of cool features.
That looks like fun.
I was down at the Skull Bar before the game today, social media night here tonight, and thanks to all the folks that came out for that. Trevor Williams and Gifton Gopay talking with all the different folks involved with that tonight. Fans sticking around for the game.
You know, I did the social media thing pregame about 5 years ago, and I wasn't asked back. I kept trying to tell them about growing up in Connecticut and having our phone be part of a party line. And, so
I'm not sure I understand what that means, and I like it.
Yeah, yeah, there were 6 or 7 families on the same line, so you could pick up the dial and get on a conversation.
So kind of a rural.
It was really social media.
Oh,
really
see.
social.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
talk to the neighbors and find out what's happening, whether you want to or not. Yeah, there used to be party lines. Yep, it was a different world, Joe.
Yeah, yeah. When you said party lines, I was thinking something else. So I'm glad that that's what that meant.
Well, back in the hometown, there's only about 1,500 people, so you knew just about everybody you were going to talk to. And then the telephone numbers had names, like instead of 824, it was Taylor. Taylor 47049. That was our phone. I still remember it.
Now I just go to.
Just the numbers.
I just go to Steve Blass. I don't even know what your number is.
824.
Don't give it out.
Oh. No. Just making sure I had that old phone number. How about that? Remember when I was about 12 years old, what our phone number was back in Connecticut?
Yeah. I don't even know mine now, but I know mine from.
That's why I can't reach you.
Yeah.
You don't have one.
You got the telegraph set up back at the house. That's all right. Meanwhile, DeGrom working into the 8th. This is the longest a Mets pitcher has gone since August of last year. Mets starter.
Terry Collins got to be happy with Jacob DeGrom last start and this start.
Nearing the season high in pitches for him, 112. And he popped him up.
How about that? Going to the 3-2 changeup.
8 strong for Jacob DeGrom tonight. He's been a tough cookie. 8-1 New York. Tonight after post game, we'll have an inside edition or inside Pirates baseball as Jamison Tile, Jordy Mercer, and the Pirates in action back in Arizona. Here tonight, 8-1 Mets as we go to the 9th. Chris Stewart's going to come in and catch for Cervelli, who we showed you earlier had a long conversation with assistant athletic trainer Ben Potenziano. And Daniel Hudson has retired the 4 men that he's faced tonight.
Good to see him heading in the correct direction. I always wonder about that when I hear athletic trainer. What?
That's the correct term for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there other kind of trainers? And
yeah, there's
animal trainers.
Sure.
But I mean, kind of have to be an athletic trainer.
Yeah, that's I don't
baseball.
I mean, yeah, I guess the official title. So.
Okay.
Trying to think of any other ones, and I can't because.
Now, if we just said
I don't know,
head trainer, would we know who we're talking about?
Well, I think
just
so.
Trainer, part of trainer.
But the athletic trainers.
Yeah, but it might be pie. That's why we got to do it.
Oh,
Could
pie
have been
trainer.
pie trainer. Okay, I got it.
Okay, the Hall of Fame. Different spelling, different job.
I wish we'd have called Tony Bartram the head trainer. He'd like that.
So 5 up and 5 down for Daniel Hudson. And just like we promised you early in the game, and just a reminder, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. There it is.
You mentioned the Arizona folks. They're going to be in after the Mets. Just make sure you check your game times for this homestand because we're all over the place. Tomorrow night 7:15, got it. Then and then Sunday night 8 o'clock.
It'll be an 8:05 start on Sunday. Then Memorial Day
4:05, and then back to business Tuesday night 7:05, and then 12:35
for the finale of that Arizona series. 6-game homestand. And if it goes according to the last one, the Pirates dropped the opener and won the final 2. Pirates coming into tonight winning 8 of 12, which, as you mentioned, Arizona, the only team. Well, if you're going to get a bat, that's a way to at least try to do that. They're going to get him something. They'll get him something. Just want to make sure that he has his bat for this at bat. That guy's going to get something. And then he's got pine tar all over his hands. You'll get something else too. Usually what happens, he'll go find a different bat that isn't already kind of ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised between innings.
You know, I got to show you something. He's trying to get rid of the pine tar, and we had a pitcher who will go unnamed, but he happened to have a no-hitter against the New York Mets, who had enough pine tar that he could leave that alone, and well, he could leave his hand like that, and the ball would not drop. That's what you call having a lot of pine tar on your hands.
Levitate the ball, I guess.
It's time to turn your engines on. You finally heard the call. Is in the calm before the fall. So fight another day and try to sweat your dreams away. Go shining like the light. It's a Friday night in summer rain.
Featuring music from Good Brother Earl on this Friday Night Rocks. And between innings, how about that? Wow. Presentation of some, I think those are yellow roses. Oh, and he gave her his batting gloves. When's the last time you seen a guy get flowers in the middle of a game?
Never.
That was really sweet of her. And she held on to those assumedly all game too. To think about that, waiting for the moment to give them to her. And that's such a great thing about baseball, is how the proximity of the fans to the players, just great. Meanwhile, here tonight, Polanco with a home run off DeGrom, the lone tally against the Mets starter, trying to go for his second career complete game.
Won last year. And he is in the driver's seat.
And that liner will fall in. Pirates' 6th hit tonight. 2nd for Polanco.
It's one of those situations, if he has a clean, this doesn't get cluttered. Almost like Nova yesterday.
Yeah.
The ball game is in hand. You don't want it to get sloppy and ruin what is basically a gem for DeGrom. And got that way for Nova. It was indeed a gem, and it just, you don't want to blemish it too much.
We'll see how long the leash is. He has struck out Freeze all 3 times tonight.
Well, you got another thing going. You got a chance to get into double figures and strikeouts. That's a little feather in your cap.
And he's ahead 2 strikes.
You know, we're talking about Mets pitchers, great pitchers in the past, and they have had him. How could we possibly leave Dwight Gooden off the list? And
for a short period of time, he was as dominant as anybody.
24-4, I think, one of his years.
1.53 ERA. In that 1985 season.
Bob Gibson-like.
He struck out Freeze 4 times tonight.
Number 10 right there.
And the Pirates on national TV the next 2 days, and will return to Root Sports for a special Memorial Day matinee against the Diamondbacks. To spend your holiday with the Bucks. Coverage starting at 3:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. And we've seen pitching to the save. Well, now they're pitching to the strikeout total tonight, I guess. He got his 10.
He got to 10. Yep.
And here comes the bullpen. Jacob deGrom, really good night out of the Mets starter.
Fastball, fastball, fastball. 10 strikeouts, fastball. You get the theme.
Well, one of the best in the National League.
Yep.
At strikeouts. And once he got to that double digit, he was out.
If I'm not mistaken, all fastballs.
Yeah, awfully tough to hit tonight.
And Salas coming on. Boy, how the game has changed. You know, I guess they wanted to get him to 10 strikeouts, so he's totally in control of this ball game. But complete game, nope. But, he was brilliant tonight.
Yeah, final line for him: 118 pitches, second most. Only a start 3 years ago to the day against the Pirates. Had he thrown more pitches in a game, that might have also been the reason, perhaps. McCutchen rolling one through the middle.
Yeah.
His last time around.
If you're concerned about the pitch count, you know, have Salas come in to start the inning.
Oh, absolutely.
So who knows?
And Fooled him off speed.
Pirates have not seen too much off-speed stuff tonight.
And Florida. And
Getting it ready.
It's fantastic how quickly they can get that all assembled for a concert.
And look at the amount of stuff, the speakers and the board, you know, the mixing board. It is something, and it's all on wheels and coming to a city near you in a few minutes.
That soundboard's got like 30 potentiometers on it.
Is that for real?
Those are the little slidey things.
They're called that?
Pots or potentiometers. Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to sound important and smart.
Yeah, well, you impressed me.
Dorncheck told me that once. So all right, I'll put that in my back pocket. Stewart retired. And it